Welcome back, my friends, to another video here on the channel. Today, we're going to be checking a couple different things on the Xbox Series X. We're going to be checking, can we play 120 hertz, 120 frames in 1440p or 1080p over HDMI 2.0. So if you don't know, a lot of people are saying, to get 120 frames, you need HDMI 2.1. That's only true if you're trying to play 4K 120 hertz. So if you want to do 4K 120 hertz, yes, you do need HDMI 2.1. Now, the HDMI cable provided with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 are HDMI 2.1 compatible, but a lot of TVs and monitors aren't, especially monitors. There's like no gaming monitors that are HDMI 2.1. The one I have is the LG 27GN950 4K monitor. It's 144 hertz, but it only has HDMI 2.0, meaning I'm only going to be able to get 4K 60 hertz. But the question is, if we put it down to 1440p or 1080p, can we get that 120 hertz that a lot of people are seeking after? Now, just to preface, this whole video is recorded in 60 frames because, unfortunately, even though I have the Elgato 4K 60 Pro, I couldn't figure a way to actually record it in 120 hertz. I thought you were able to, but anyways, the point is, I still get to show you guys if it does work. So we're going to go to the settings first off. Now, just a forewarning as well. If for some reason there's a cut, it's because sometimes when I change these display settings, my video stops recording. So keep that in mind. So right now you can see we're in 4K Ultra HD, running at 60 hertz. Now, if I go to 120 hertz, I've already tried this. It's not going to work. It's just going to revert, but I'll do it for the sake of this video to show you guys. Again, there's probably going to be a cut because it's going to stop my recording for whatever reason. So here we go. 120 hertz. There is no signal currently. My screen just went black. Give me a second and I'll show you guys exactly what it says. So as you guys can see, we're in 1080p at 120 hertz. Now, unfortunately, it's not giving me the option for 1440p only because my Elgato doesn't support it. I tried it before recording this video and the resolution was giving me the option for 1440p when I was plugged directly into my screen, not passing through the Elgato. So keep that in mind. 1440p at 120 is possible. I just can't show it to you guys in this video because it's because of the Elgato. So it's only giving me the option for 4K, 1080, and 720. But yes, 1440p is also an option at 120 hertz, so it does work. But trust me when I say, before making this video, I tested it out. 1440p was an option. What was interesting is when I dropped down earlier before recording this video, when I dropped down to 120 hertz, when I rebooted my Series X, it gave me the option for variable refresh rate, which I thought was only possible over HDMI 2.0, but it was saying, oh, we detected your TV, which is a monitor, supports VRR. So maybe variable refresh rate actually is possible over 2.0. I don't have a screenshot of that, unfortunately, but it basically just popped up when I rebooted my console. So we are in 1080p 120. So we're going to go to a game like Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which does support 120. You can see that quicker zoom right there. Now, I did have an option pop up. I did open up Ori really quick earlier. And it gave me an option. It detected, it said 120 hertz detected. Do you want to play the game in 120 hertz? So, okay, so you can see in the settings, my graphics settings is actually 4K at 120. Now, obviously, my output on the Xbox Series X is only 1080p. So I guess maybe it's downscaling from 4K. You can see the graphics mode. So there's super sampled 6K at 60 FPS. Which is absolutely insane. There's no point for me to do that because I obviously can't capture 6K. I'm also not able to capture 4K at 120. What you're seeing is 1080p at 60 FPS. But we're going to go in anyways, see if there's any kind of noticeable difference on the recording, or at least I can explain to you guys, what I'm seeing on my end. So we are at 4K 120. I'm going to jump into a game here. All right, so we are in the game, and it's, I mean, this game is already super buttery smooth. But you can definitely tell that it's a lot smoother on my end. I don't know if you guys can tell on your end, but it is like extremely smooth. I don't know if personally, in a game like this, telling the difference between 60 and 120 may be a little bit more difficult. Because I feel like you notice that more in like a shooter game, for example, but it's really smooth. Again, you guys are seeing this in 1080 60, unfortunately, because I don't have a way to capture 120, but it's really smooth. And maybe the fact that this is outputting in 120, maybe that'll make even the recording a little smoother, even though the recording is outputting at 60. I don't know. Anyways, let's check out another game though, like a shooter game such as Gears 5. Okay, so we are here in Gears 5, and Gears 5 is kind of interesting. 120 FPS is specific to multiplayer. You would have thought it'd be specific to campaign, but it's actually specific to multiplayer. So you're just going to basically open up the options like this. You're going to go to the options menu. You're going to go down to video, and then versus multiplayer. Excuse me, you can select between 60 and 120 FPS. So I'm going to go ahead in 120. We're going to jump into a game real quick and just see how it plays and how it feels. All right, so we're here in game, and man, it is actually really, really smooth, and it looks great. Just playing this game in 1080, like even in this is a thing, right? A lot of people think like, you know, you need either the higher resolution or the higher frame rate for these games to look really good, but these games have been optimized for these next-gen consoles, including, you know, their textures, their details, the shadows, like different things like that. It's also been a very long time since I played Gears 5, so excuse me that I'm a moron shooting my own teammates. I'm an idiot, but it's okay. Anyways, so yeah, it's buttery smooth. Again, you can't really see it on your end. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. There we go. You can't really see it on your end, unfortunately, because, again, we're not recording in 120, but you might be able to still tell that it is buttery smooth nonetheless. And I just got shotgunned. I miss this game, man, but this game, first of all, looks really good. Forget the 120 for a second. I'm actually surprised how great this game looks on the Series X. I hadn't actually booted up this game on the Series X until now for this video, and it looks really good. Again, the frame rate is buttery smooth. It's really, really good. So again, these are just a couple games you could, you know, take advantage of 120. So you don't need HDMI 2.1. I know a lot of people say so, but you don't need HDMI 2.1 to get 120 frames. You just have to turn it down. So if you don't mind playing in 1440p or 1080p resolution, I'm an idiot, I suck, then you can still get the 120. So once again, 1440p is an option. The only reason I'm not getting the option to show you guys in the settings is because I'm passing it through the Elgato, which I guess doesn't support 1440p. But otherwise, if I wasn't recording my actual screen, my gameplay, excuse me, if I was plugged directly into my monitor, then I would have the option for 1440p as I did, you know, before making this video. Now, just a quick note, some of the games you can expect to run 120 frames per second on Series X at launch includes Black Ops Cold War, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Dirt 5, Exo Mecha, Gears 5 Multiplayer, Halo Infinite Multiplayer, which obviously isn't here right now, Halo the Master Chief Collection, Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom, Metal Hellsinger, there's Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Orphan and the Machine, Rainbow Six Siege, which is really, really cool, Second Extinction, The Falconeer, and The Tourist. So those are all the games right now that can run 120 frames on Xbox Series X. There's obviously going to be more at some point, but right now, those are the ones that are, you know, confirmed to be supported, even though Halo Infinite isn't quite out yet. So that, again, this is just a quick look at a couple of different games running at 120. Again, showing you guys that if you do have HDMI 2.0, you don't have a 2.1 compatible display, it doesn't matter. You can still get 120 frames if you don't mind playing in 1080p or 1440p, and the upscaling, downscaling of the Xbox Series X is really, really good in my opinion. It does a great job. It didn't look blurry at all. Sometimes people say, you know, if you're playing 1080p on a 4K monitor, you can get a little bit of blur. Or whatever, but it actually does a great job at it. I didn't really notice it too much. It looks amazing on my end. So, I don't know. Take that as you will, but I just want to bring you guys this quick video to show you guys that, yes, you can play 120 frames in 1440p or in 1080p over HDMI 2.0, or if you want the 4K, then you got to, you know, turn it down to 60 hertz, which is fine for a lot of people anyway. So it depends. You know, if you want the faster frame rates, you just turn it down to 1440p, which if you're on a smaller display anyways, you won't notice a huge difference. Or even 1080p, you know, like, it looks great even at that. You know, you're still getting all the graphic enhancements, you know, all the details, textures, shadows, etc., draw distance, all that's increased either way, whatever resolution you're at. So, anyways, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. We have a lot more next-gen content for you guys between, you know, videos like this, and then, of course, you know, gaming news and unboxings and actual Let's Plays of games and stuff like that. So keep it locked on the channel. If you enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe, guys, new, and I'll see you guys very soon in another one. Till then, my friends, game on.